Welcome to Space Socket. Two women, one 32 and divorced with two kids, the other 34 with two boys, sit down to talk relationships. Kevin
Hi,
Samuels humbles
Hi,
them.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
32.
All right. So, is it time to give up on the fantasy or the dream of this ideal man?
Yes. I think I kind of gave up on that around 22.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single, divorced 2020 December.
How many kids? Any kids?
Yes, two.
You said you got divorced in 2020.
Yes.
Uh, was it for irreconcilable differences?
Yes, my husband, he was 4 years younger than I am. He just kind of decided once we had a son, have a daughter prior to him. I met him when she was 3 years old, so him and I kind of dated that whole time. We got married. But once we had our son, he kind of just was like the responsibility, the of having a family, being a husband. He just kind of told me one day, I don't want to do this. Our son was 4 months old, and he just said it's not for him. He wants to be a bachelor, so that's life kind of living, and I just accepted it.
So what? So was he paying child support?
Yes, he is.
So this is why I tell women stop marrying younger men. I don't know why y'all think y'all should not be getting with younger men.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but okay. So, did you hear the last call where I was talking to the woman?
Yes, I've been
Why,
on.
why, why do women? Why do you think women are so disgusted by the notion of settling for average men?
I think a lot of it has to do with lack of structure and upbringing, potentially childhood stuff. So maybe we don't have that model. So social media, the TV kind of raises us. It tells us this is charming and this is what you look for.
Mm-hmm.
The music, I mean, because I was influenced by this stuff as a young woman. So I think, definitely watching your content has shifted my mindset. While I was going through my divorce, I picked up on your. It just kind of, and I've kind of always had that wife mindset, but I've just kind of think about me going to therapy, done that healing. And actually, when I date a man, it's already married, nothing
Oh,
else.
hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Hi,
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34. We're talking about, are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
Any kids?
Yes, two boys.
So we're talking about, is it time to give up on this notion of an ideal or a dream guy?
Um, it's so funny because I'm kind of like the last young lady that was on here. When I first started hearing your content, I was just like, you know, I showed it to my mom, I showed it to her friends. I was like, y'all gotta like, and I'm a type of person where as long as I can understand, then I can kind of get with it. And it seems like more and more I'm really starting to get where you're coming from as far as, kind of us thinking we're special and not wanting to settle and stuff like that. And then not really believing we're modern women and so on and so forth. And so it's just like,
Hold on. Hey, Tanisha, you need to get in the light. I can't see you.
Yeah, I am. I'm moving now.
So so is it time to give up on the dream guy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, but you didn't say that. You said a lot, but you didn't say yes or no. Not you.
me.
Yeah.
Um, I I hate to say it, but
That was
I would
wrong.
have to say yes,
Why do you
simply
say
because
okay, you're 34, right?
yes,
Two kids. How old is your oldest?
15.
From a man's standpoint, why would you say you hate to say it when men think like this? The man you lost your virginity to was your first husband. That's how men think. If you got two kids, are they by different men?
No, the same.
Okay. The man you had a child with is your second husband. So you already were married with 2 kids. In a lot of men's minds, why would a woman, not you, but a woman like in that, get a dream guy? Why is this an average guy not the dream?
I think society has just made us feel like life is a fairy tale. I have been told that a lot, like in relationships and by people that like I think life is a fairy tale. And I used to just feel like it's not that I just think it's gonna be all sunshines and rainbows and the
Have
picket
you ever lived
fence
with
and the
anybody?
dog. Have I ever lived with a man?
Hmm?
Yes.
Did he pay bills?
Yes.
Did you have
We
to
both
work too?
did. Did I have to work?
Hmm.
Yes. Yes, we
Was
both
was it
worked.
easier to live with somebody who was splitting bills?
Yeah, as far as the bills wise, but I think we don't choose right as women
So
also,
you don't choose the
especially
boring guy. You don't choose the boring, stable guy.
I mean, well, because honestly, I have my child's father is well, my children's father is like I guess you could say the boring guy, but it wasn't the boring part that bothers me because I don't mind being
What
bored or
bothers you?
being
What bothers you?
our as in the black community we have a lot of problems and
I
a
don't
lot
understand.
of
Give me an example of what bothered you.
it's just like people's attitude and just
His
like
attitude?
both of ours. I'm
Okay.
not gonna just say his
All
is
right.
it's
All
mine
right.
too.
But typically when we get in a relationship, man, especially with the one we have kids with, we ain't coming with attitude. We're trying to have peace in our house. And I'm gonna tell you right now, ma'am, I know you come in there with plenty of attitude. You know I know. You know I know.
But
Let
it would
me
be
give
things
you,
but it
man.
would be things that would, like infidelity and because we were both pretty young. He's older than me, but we were both still in our early 20s.
Did you provide a
And
peaceful home?
I I think I did. I thought I did. Cause I mean
Ask.
I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
cook.
I'm
I'm gonna
asking. Did you
clean.
provide a peace? No, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm asking. Did you
You
provide a peaceful home?
peaceful. So what do you mean by peaceful?
Peaceful,
Like,
peaceful, meaning not a lot of drama, not a lot of argument, an agreeable, easy to get along with, not asking all these 50 million questions, not nagging, more like, yes, dear. Or were you more like a stereotypical sister? Hold on. You're gonna get your say, you're gonna be heard. If I got something on my mind, you ain't going to sleep until I say what I gotta say. I'm gonna follow
one
you to the
second.
car, down the street. Come on, man. You know what peace is.
Mhm.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. I try to be,
Did you
you
provide a
know,
peaceful home? That's a yes or no. And the answer is no.
well, that's only when there was situations that we needed to discuss, and I feel like he couldn't be mature enough to just discuss them. If there's topics, I mean,
I
we
got
do
it.
have to live together, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that have to be discussed as far as parenting and as far as, you know what I'm saying, infidelity and how we want this relationship to play out.
Yeah, but see,
And
the thing is, more often than not, and you got to be honest. Many times y'all try to run the relationship like we're your kids versus we're your man.
yeah.
If he says, and he said, if could your man say, and that's final, and the conversation be over?
Yeah. But it's
I'm talking about her, and the answer is hell no. And that, gentlemen,
it's
if you can't say, and that's final, and it's not over, there ain't no peace in that house.
none.
So, ma'am, you can dance around
Okay,
the word. Ma'am, you can.
but Kevin, what
Let's say
is
he
there?
cheated. Hold on, ma'am. Let's say he cheated and all this other stuff. Okay, fine. But you can't say that you were raised to be a peaceful, agreeable woman either.
No. I
So
mean, but my
oftentimes
mom
you
is
realize that men
married
cheat.
and
Listen. Men often cheat for femininity, not sex.
well,
Femininity.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not saying it's always,
I
but I'm not
yeah.
saying always, but I want you to think about what I just
Okay,
said.
so what I really want to ask you, because like I said, like a lot of the stuff you say about us needing to kind of pipe ourselves down as far as
Mhm.
what type of, you know, wanting a high powered man and what those type of
Mhm.
men really want in a wife. So
Mhm.
I've actually, you've kind of brought me to my senses on that level, like, you know, as far as getting an average man. Now I don't know. I live in Texas, so I don't know about the 40, the 40,000. That's low even here.
No,
But
you're not. I
my
used
mom,
to live in I lived in Texas for 12 years.
but see, my mom. Well, I was actually raised
Ma'am,
by my
listen. If a
but
man
they
can pay,
didn't.
hold on, listen. If he can pay his own rent and his
Mm-hmm.
own, if he's self-sustaining, that's all he needs to do. But here's what's gonna happen. You got two kids. If the rent is $2,000, you need to pay 1,500. He need to pay 5. He need to pay 500 because you bringing three people.
Yes.
I can. That's not gonna happen, but I can understand that because my kid's father, he's in their life and he pays child support. So let's just say I have their 500. Let's just say that, but like I know my mom and my stepdad, they both work for the EPA, and I think they only, well, a piece, they were both retired making like, I think only like 80 or $90,000, and they live good. They not living like,
80 or 90
you know what I'm
together.
saying.
80 or
No
90.
no well, my mom retired making about 90, and my stepdad
Man,
retired making about
man,
80 something.
average people. I can't
Yeah,
make
so that's what's average
stop.
to me.
Okay,
But you
but
were
that's not. No,
saying
no, no, no.
40,
That's not average. No, no,
50,000.
no, no, man, stop. That's bullshit. It's not average. Your
Mm.
standards are too high.
Oh, so what my mom and them is
Ma'am,
making, that's
middle
not
class is
average.
not $80,000.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
If I can say something,
Go
I mean,
I
ahead.
mean, but they not
Go
rich. I
ahead.
mean, they
Stop.
well,
You hold on.
I
well,
just
Stop.
they
want
Stop.
to
Go
say,
ahead, man.
like,
Stop.
realistically, just being as a woman with two kids, I understand if I get a man who makes 40,000, that's more than what we need.
Yeah.
I'm sustaining me and my kids by myself now. So
Man,
I
you
don't,
got the makeup you have on and stuff like that is all shit you don't need.
yeah.
All that stuff is an adornment. You got all this additional stuff.
I
Okay, what did you go to
I
college?
I had to go.
Ma'am,
Yes,
hold
sir.
on. Did you go to college?
Yes, sir. But I didn't graduate.
Okay, do you make over $80,000 a year?
No.
So then why, if you ain't making it, why should an average man make it?
No, I'm saying that's what they retired making. So I know, like, you know,
But
with
that's a
people in
different
their 30s.
generation. They had labor benefit. Okay, this is
Oh,
what I need you
yeah.
ladies to understand.
Yeah.
You got two kids,
Not him.
not him. You ain't making nowhere close to that money, and you have an appetite that you can't afford to pay for. You can, I mean, them eyelashes and all. You can't afford to pay for that on your own income. That's being you taking. If we're gonna be real, if we're gonna keep it a stack. You taking some of that child support money and putting it on your
No,
face and your body.
I really am not. I really am not,
Okay,
Mr.
well, my point of the matter is this ain't free.
I'm not that
And
kind.
the point is, okay, let's say you're not, but if a man can pay his own bills, he's fully self-standing and sufficient, then how come two people coming together who can take care of themselves does not improve your situation? Because that means
Mm-hmm.
you have one residence.
Right.
It's simple math.
You're right.
But it's
Anything.
not it's not simple, man. It's not simple, man, because see, a man is supposed to come in and do everything, even if you got somebody else's kids. A man is supposed to come in and do everything. And and the thing is, we're not getting virgins.
Oh yeah.
We're not getting young virgins. We're getting women who have other men's fingerprints and DNA in situations, and we got to accept all that and then provide all this. Men ain't doing all that, man.
And you really have enlightened me on that. So I understand it. And my mom has always worked, so I'm not, I'm saying, shy of saying, okay, maybe it might need to be, maybe 60-40, because they both, my mom and stepdad, they both pretty much made the same money, but my mom still only pays, only did like lights and groceries and like the small stuff for the house and stuff.
Your
But
mom and your stepdad.
mhm.
How old
But
were you when they got married?
I was like 9.
Okay. And how many children did she have?
She has 3.
Okay. Is your mama over 50?
Yes.
Okay. Different generation.
Mm-hmm.
Different generation. Different generation. Men in my generation and above actually got more respect being stepfathers. Today, a stepfather is looked down on because men don't get respect. Biological fathers and husbands don't get respect. Stepfathers. So my point is, if you are a woman today, you are fortunate to have a man, period. A pair of britches in the house. That's what the pandemic showed us. When the world shut down and stopped, all the shit y'all thought that was important wasn't nothing. When you had to go out there to the grocery store and fight over water and toilet tissue, that strong, independent attitude ain't gonna do nothing because you can't do shit about no man. Every other group of women had men, even Hispanic women. Hispanic men make less money than black men, but Hispanic men get far more respect. Y'all
Okay,
need to change
so
y'all's attitude. Well, here's the thing: y'all need to do nothing, but you're gonna die alone. Black men.
I refuse to die alone. So that's why I listen all the time. Even though my mama, she don't be feeling you, because she come from a different time. So of
Your
course
mama
she
don't think, but
raised
the
me
men do.
to.
Your mama. The
It's
thing is, your
okay,
mama
but
may
why?
not, but the
Okay,
men
so
do.
explain to me, like, because it almost be sound. The only thing that I can't get past is it almost sound like, okay, I'm not gonna say settle. I can find a man, you know what I'm saying, that's willing to be a part of my lifestyle of what I already have going. Of course, I already have kids and stuff like that. If I find a
Spit
man,
it
which
out.
I
You get
do
me
have a
confused.
process.
What do you want me? What do you want?
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
Say it.
It almost feel like too, though, you want us to just accept anything. It don't matter about the attitude. As long as I think the only thing I've heard you say is as long as it's not like physical abuse or
Yeah.
something like that. But
Yep, I do.
everything else we
Yep, I
supposed to
do.
just
I want you.
accept.
Yep, I do. I want you to accept anything. You damn right. I want you to accept a man that's a man is sane and he is a decent man. I don't care how
But
he
you don't
looks.
think that's
Listen,
what
no, ma'am. I need you. No, I'll let you speak. I need you to accept the man, or you die alone.
Mm-hmm.
Man, no disrespect. You got two grown mother flipping kids. If the world was the right place, you wouldn't have a man at all.
Mm-hmm.
You should get no man in life.
but that's like saying people will never make mistakes. Like there's a
No,
perfect
that's saying you go back and complete the family you started.
he married. He married somebody else.
That's your problem. You should have completed it when you had a chance. See, one of the things we've told women to do is just go out and make babies, and then you realize that, let me tell you something, dear heart. Any man who gets you would be settling.
Yeah.
He'd be settling for you. You got two
Even,
kids.
I mean, even the and see that's where I be battling because it's like
Well, but you bet. Okay,
you
let me.
say
Okay,
all the time that
let me
it's
see.
just
Hold on.
it's like a contract.
Listen,
Marriage
listen,
is
listen,
just like
listen,
a
listen.
contract.
Let me. No. Stop that. Let me reframe all this for you. If we were talking about non-black men, if I snapped all the black men away, would a white man accept you? The average white man.
You mean like the same way you say average for black
Yeah,
people?
if I snapped all the black men away, could you expect white men, average white men, above average white men, would they come and say, well, sure, Becky or you, yeah, sure, Alex, would white men take you?
Maybe if it wasn't, no,
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 Okay, would a Chinese man take you? Would
no,
Asian men take you?
no.
no,
Would Middle Eastern men, stop. Would Middle Eastern men take you?
no, probably not.
No, because you know you couldn't come to them with the same thing you come to a black man with.
But why?
No, listen,
Why do you think that is?
listen,
Because
listen. Because we are not beneath you. Your standards is you think black men should accept. Why would you expect a black man to accept what you know a white man, an Asian man, and a Middle Eastern man wouldn't expect? I mean,
because
accept.
they don't respect us anyways. I don't think I think if I was childless, they wouldn't really. That's just my personal opinion. We're not
Would
gonna
it be
go down
because
that
of your
road.
race?
I feel like so.
No. No, it's not because of your race. It's because of the lack of femininity. It's because of the size. It's because of the attitude. It's because of the way y'all come in as masculine. Men don't reject women on race first. They reject women who lack femininity. And those other cultures have a patriarchy and structure. And this is what I keep trying to get you black men to understand. Black women expect us to accept less than they know that they would have to raise their standards. If we were all gone, they know if they wanted a man, whether they were attracted to him or not, whether they thought white men were just as boring and they know they'd have to up their game because white women ain't gonna just let you come in and take their men. They're gonna fight for their men. They're gonna compete. Y'all expect us to compete for you. You expect us to settle. Ain't happening.
I, if I can say something, Kevin, something I realized a long time ago, like the honor is passed to me. You're not their prize. And you really have the mindset, I'm owed him. No, you're owed, like you're owed him. It's vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. Other way around. You need him. You really have to like humble yourself, woman. Being a single,
Well,
I,
the thing is,
hard.
our women don't have to humble themselves because they believe that our culture and the media and everything else, and even the women have told women that we would be lucky to have you in any state. Women in my lifetime, women used to feel some kind of way. You used to be shamed for coming to church, being a single mother. Now you can come to church with 3, 4 different kids, with 4, 5 different men, sit on the front row and scream amen. There's no shame anymore in the black community. Now, men have been saying all we want is women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, and childless. Women have progressively gotten larger,
But you're the
masculine,
first and only man I've heard
children,
say that.
bullshit.
I swear. I
Y'all ain't, no,
swear.
ma'am, I have been 53 years old. We have been saying this for the longest. Y'all just haven't been paying us any attention. Because one thing that started to
Where was
happen
they
is
saying
stop.
that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, the boring dudes are supposed to be your husbands, not your fucking fucked up baby daddies.
True.
That's why 54% of black men are single and childless. 30% of black men are married. But 80% of black children are born outside of wedlock. So roughly that means 80% of kids are being fathered by less than 20% of men. It's the 80% of men that don't. It is the large group of men that ain't married and ain't got no kids that have been saying, if you want us to marry you, you got to be this. And what happens? You got to go out there and have somebody else's kid, and then you finally start turning around and looking for Russell Wilson. So, and then you're like, well, where they been saying it? They were saying if they were in the chess room, they were in the algebra class, they were in physics, but y'all was calling them corny and lame and goofies and nerds and everything else. And
But
that's
see how do we stop this? Because like it
uh,
may be too late for me. I may need to just go ahead
I
and
was going to tell
settle
you how you
with
stop it. You tell your daughters. You tell your daughters and you tell your cousins and your nieces. that are under 18. You start raising your daughters and your sisters to serve the men of the family, to value the men of the family. If you have children, you say you got 2 boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you got a boy and a girl, you put more resources into your son than your daughter. You got to, women have to start making a difference with the men, with the boys in their home. If you start seeing women start making a difference between their son and daughter, what happens today? In black women, they coddle their sons and they make their daughters harder. Go to college and do this, and they put the boys in Jordans. No, you put the resources into your boys. Boy Scouts, this, that, martial arts, blah, 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 STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, fuck basketball, football, and all these sports. Put them in math club, chess club, finance. Start building a man, boys that are going to kind of grow into the men, so the daughters will have something to build with. And the reality is a lot of women aren't going to get nobody because nature. Because even if you were ready to do it, the work is so, a lot of women feel like there's too much work to be done. And let's just say it is. You can't ask men to settle because y'all don't want to settle.
And see, that's the thing. I don't mind settling, but it's just like, how can, because like I have someone that I'm dating, but I tell him all the time, based on how, based on watching you, that we need to go to therapy, because I feel like because of his childhood and how he was raised and, other things that, he is kind of messed up emotionally, you know what I'm saying, in
Then why would
certain
you
ways.
do?
Why would I what?
Then why would you deal with that?
Oh, well, Kevin, you just said I gotta settle. Who else I'm gonna deal with?
Well, I
It's
didn't
not
say you
too
got to
many.
settle for damage. I didn't say you got to settle for emotional damage. I said settle for the stable, boring, average guy. And
Yeah.
none of that was emotional damage. Here's what you got to settle for: the guy that don't make you tingle, the short guy, the guy with the little dick who lasts for 30 seconds, the guy who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and goes to work and comes home and eats a bologna sandwich and watches the boring ass guy.
And Kevin,
Boring as fuck.
I know I may not look like you, but I've had that before. And those type of men are insecure. And it's
Now,
like, it causes unnecessary issues.
insecure meaning what? Insecure about what?
I mean, just like, you know, anything like
No, I don't.
wanna check my phone, and I would never have a problem, but it's like, if we don't have trust, if you can't trust me to walk out the door without you, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Ma'am, I'm
it'd
sorry.
be
No,
really
I'm
hard.
not gonna
And
do
I have
this, man.
really
I'm
tried.
not gonna do this. I'm not gonna let you paint all the average men as
No,
insecure.
I'm
Man,
really not. I really
man.
want to
Stop,
find
stop,
one
stop,
so
stop,
I
stop,
can
stop,
get
stop.
married.
Stop. You are what you attract. I'm sorry. I know too many men who don't fit this category because everything seems like, I'd be willing to accept this and willing to accept that. Well, if you meet somebody who I said is stable, this, that, you said they're insecure. Those aren't the same 2 men. And if you're dating a man who's insecure, checking your phone, why are you going on the 3rd date? If you got a man who needs therapy, this is on you. So you're not gonna paint all men in this category. This is what you call confirmation bias. And why y'all do this, why women like yourself do this is because you say, well, they all messed up, so I might as well get one to turn me on or whatever, because no matter what I settle for, something's gonna be wrong with them, so I might as well get good sex or whatever. Fuck all that. No,
Yeah, no,
no.
that's not what's important to me. I really want to have,
Well,
like you said, I
have
don't
you
want to
gone to
die
therapy?
alone or
Have you gone to
homeless.
therapy? Have you gone to therapy?
Yes, I don't still go, but yes, I
How
have.
long did you go?
For about 2 years.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Um, Probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
So you mean so you're saying that you still at this point are not being able to sort through and vet and pick healthy-minded men?
I think I just do not know how to pick, Kevin.
Then is your father in your life?
No, sir.
All right. Well, that's a big problem. I can't get into all that, but a big part of why y'all pick what y'all pick too. Because I mean, we're responsible for our choices, man. And I'm sorry, you said you live in Texas, in Dallas?
Hmm.
Sorry, no, there are too many good men. There's a hell of a lot of good men in Dallas. Hell of a lot of them. Go to Garland.
It
Go to
is, but
Garland.
they have
No, they
they
all
have
ain't shit. I'm not gonna let you
fiancés
put
and
that shit off on my men one more goddamn time. I lived in Garland for too long. Knock it off, man. It's not gonna
yeah,
fly.
I live
It
in
ain't gonna
Mesquite. So
fly here.
where
Go
do
go to
I
the
need
Potter's
to?
house. Go to Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship. Go to IBOC. Go to Friendship West. There are plenty of good black men in Dallas, Fort Worth.
So I need to
Knock
go
that
to
shit
church.
off. All
I
right, y'all
mean, well,
take it
I
easy.
haven't.
No,
Okay,
no, 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 no. Y'all have a good night.
bye.
Not gonna put that shit off on my men's. No, not gonna put that off on my guys. No.
All right. This kind of conversation usually brings up layered realities. When you have life experience, divorce, children, past relationships, you're not starting from zero anymore. There are responsibilities, patterns, and expectations already in place. And this is where Kevin Samuels typically shifts the focus. He's not just listening to what they want, he's analyzing what their current situation realistically allows. Because dating with children changes the dynamics. Time, priorities, and flexibility all look different compared to someone without those responsibilities. Now, this is where the schooling usually happens. If expectations haven't adjusted to match life circumstances, there's going to be a gap. Not because someone doesn't deserve happiness, but because the dating market responds to practical realities. So he would likely ask questions around lifestyle, availability, support systems, and what kind of partner they're expecting. Because a man stepping into that situation isn't just choosing a partner. He's stepping into a ready-made family structure. And that's a serious consideration. It requires maturity, stability, and willingness from both sides. But it also means expectations need to be realistic and clearly defined. Now, here's the deeper point. Past experiences can either refine your approach or they can harden your expectations without adjusting your strategy. And that's often where people get stuck. Kevin's approach in these moments is about alignment, making sure what someone wants matches what they're presenting and the life they're currently living.